Wow, that was just a fabulous panel. I was so pleased when I came this morning and I saw so many of you here. I must say, when I woke up this morning, I thought, I wonder how many people will come back to have this conversation about all-in equitable development in just Pittsburgh. And to see so many of you here, to hear this authentic, strong, truthful, searching, effective conversation, and to have you here to see it just makes me so excited about the potential here in Pittsburgh. You all are a very special place, and I hope you know that. I know you have challenges, but to listen to this panel has to give everybody confidence that those challenges, those obstacles are nothing but a thing to be overcome, and you are prepared to overcome it. You know what it is to do equitable development because Derek described it in the most extraordinary way when he talked about in concrete terms what it means to put equity and inclusion at the front of the development process. And he talked about how to really put it in the budget. And Rosa Maria then talked about we're here, there are language issues, there are challenges in terms of understanding and being seen, but common ground is being found, neighbors are being welcoming, and please don't put us in a silo. We're Steeler fans too. Let us work across the board. And then Marimba talked about the power of resident voice and the need for policy to be able to ingrain the things that are so important to residents into everything that's happening. And Jeannie, very proud of her work in philanthropy, really said that this is a foundation that understands that it's not enough to make the grants. You have to be able to really focus on systems change. They have had the courage, which they are exercising, to actually lead with racial equity, and the humility to be ashamed when they realize how much they're missing of the talent and the skills and the assets in the community and looking to change themselves. Councilmember Lavelle really talked about to change the city, you have to recognize who's being left behind and have the courage to target. It's only by targeting that the resources that you have can produce the best results. To spread everything across in some kind of supposedly even way, and I'm sure some would question whether or not it's even, but to spread in an even way and not to be able to target where there's need is to miss the opportunity to get the most of the resources that are being invested. And Janera helped us to really understand that it is through art that we can develop the deep understanding of who we are, that we can critique our values, that we can begin in a place of identity, and that we must start with art, not add it at the end to put across a beautiful gloss of what it is we've already created, but to start with art, to start with culture, allows us to be able to build what we really need. And do not ever think that art doesn't exist in every community. We don't need to import art, we need to empower art. We need to co-power art, I think is the language I learned yesterday. And then Greg talked about the extraordinary, the phenomenal capacity of business to be able to make a difference. He has seen it being inside. He understands what it means to invest in people, to be able to find the talent that exists, the talent that is needed, and invest in it so that real change can happen, but also to start a business himself and to be able to make it exactly what he saw needed to be done. But he also talked about the power of being in the room. And it's not just in the business, but in the C-suite. To be in the room, to be able to be there when the decisions are being made. And then we were reminded that ultimately when we reach for the best among all of us, we want to know that everybody has everybody else's back. Yes, you want to be in the room, but what we strive for is to know that your interests are covered, whoever's in the room, because we have each other's backs. This has been a conversation that really has taken us from the ideas of equitable development, which I was so proud of my colleague, Sarah Truehalf, as she presented the work that she's been doing with this community. And it is the philosophy of PolicyLink to work with communities. We don't believe in importing anything. We think that the strengths are always there, and what we're doing is working with communities to be able to add what we can to lift it up. But listening to people respond to what she put out, and to hear the authenticity in this conversation showed that equitable development is owned by this community. It's being created by this community. And today really gives me extraordinary confidence that you will achieve it. Thank you.
Thank you.